It's a strange time of year to be talking about Easter. You would think Christmas might be a more appropriate conversation in the whole religious calendar. But a recent law has changed Easter trading laws, recent bill has changed Easter trading laws to allow local councils, local bodies to decide whether or not they're going to allow their local shops, etc., to open up on things like Easter Sunday, etc., etc., the days that are typically your absolute public holidays that nothing opens in. In Central Otago, residents are now getting a chance to vote on this. They're going to have a chance to say whether they think their local New World should be open or their Kathmandu, because you might just have to get a crampon. And we wanted to have a quick chat about what we think about Easter trading. Is it time to move into a new stage of our evolution and give away all those kind of days off, or are they still valuable enough within society that we need to hold on to them?
I think you see on the days that supermarkets are closed, Christmas and Easter and that, people freak out, don't they? They do. They really freak out, and then when it opens, or just before they close, they're full of people. If they're closing for one day, who have to stock up for the one day. So I think we've become addicted to shopping, and we need to. I don't think we need to accept that at all. Actually, no.
No, I tend to agree. I think working in retail when I was growing up, you heard stories about when shops weren't open on Saturday and Sunday, and people coped. It was no big deal. It was no drama. There was no mad rush at Friday at 7 o'clock at night to go get your last shopping. And to think that everyone needs to be working over Easter, a family time, I think is a wee bit mean-spirited from the national government. And what they've done is they've basically put the directive back into the local council's hands to say, you make the hard decisions.
Yeah, they're Pontius, to quote a phrase around Easter, they've Pontius piloted it. They've gone, I'll wash my hands of this, you guys can be the bad guys.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done it with alcohol trading, haven't they? And they did it with legal highs while that was around. The
interesting thing is we're only talking really about 3 days as well, aren't we? Because it's Christmas, it's Easter Friday, it's Easter Sunday. And then really even Easter Sunday isn't really seen quite as the same as the other two. For me, and I've always been in this position, I just think that for someone who's working in retail, working in these kinds of shops, these 3 days are sacred. And I don't mean sacred like a religious sense because we're talking about Easter. I mean, they can rely on it. They can rely on going away for Easter. They can rely on spending that with their family. They don't have to work Friday, they don't have to work Sunday. And I just think that it's almost like the last bastion of that whole 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work, 8 hours play, 8 bob a day mentality, which came in, which we celebrate on Labour Day. It's like it's the last 3 days left for the worker to be able to have complete control over what they do on that day. Because if they make it legal and you're going to work on it, and even though the law will say a boss can't force you to work on a public, we know what happens in a work. The boss goes, look, we really need you, and so workers fold because they don't want to annoy the boss. They don't want to have in 2 weeks' time to need to pick up extra shifts, and the boss go, well, you didn't help us out on Easter weekend, so look, I'm sorry, we're going to give it to someone else. So I just think that they need to stay, and I'm using the word sacred, not religiously, but as that special that the workers and the families can rely on having those days off.
Except for journalists who have to work all those days.
Ironically, I
yeah.
probably work the last 15 or 17 Christmas days. So that's a choice thing though, but for those who don't have that choice.
Yeah.
Agreed.